Welcome to the PDL. This is week 3. If you guys watched our last matches, you'll know that I'm sitting in a pretty healthy position right now. And this week we're playing against the team I played in finals of the last season, the Great Bats of Woodo. So this is my plan. So he has the Psychium Z and a few different psychic types. He's got Mega Medicham, Kartana, Pelipper, Porygon 2, Metagross, Regular Gardevoir, Alolan Muck, Chandelure, Vapswine, Weezing, Miltank, and Meteor. Apologies for that. And with this team, with the team that I'm running, I've got a few different checks. Maybe a few more fighting types than someone would expect against a team with 3 psychic types and the psychic Z move, but yeah, that's how it is. So I've got Swords Dance Virizion, so it's going to be the debut of Virizion to this team. I think the SD set is pretty good in this matchup. It checks a lot of his team. The Zen, between its dual stab and Zen, it has neutral stab coverage or super effective coverage with the Zen against the Weezing, against his entire team, which is pretty good. Though I will definitely need chip on Metagross beforehand, before I want to try and go too crazy with this. But yeah, I definitely think it can come through in this game. The Eye Berry is there just so that we can get back some extra health if the matchup lets us. I'm up and I'm busy. Sorry about that. Yeah, so I think that's pretty good. A pretty decent win con. It's a bit slower than Kartana, but otherwise it's got speed on the rest of his team. And hopefully I don't get boned by a Mamoswine. But I guess that's with everything in general. Cavalion, Thunderwave, Close Combat, Ironhead, and Stealth Rock. This is just meant to be a Stealth Rocker for the team. Chocolate Berry is there so that I can eat a high jump kick from the Mega Medicham and just be able to spread around the Thunderwave. Speed control is going to be very helpful in this game. It will also help me eat a Smart Strike from Kartana, which is pretty nice. I've got a little bit of defensive investment, mostly in HP, and a little bit of attack, as well as speed for Mega Medicham and Miltank. And that should be pretty solid here. Flyinium Z, and I forgot to speed either. I will very professionally do that right now. I'm just running speed for Kartana on this set. 348. That means I will need to be 348. It's pretty close to my. Oh, would I need to be speed boosting? Yeah, I was thinking so that I would. Yeah, but it's pretty close to the threshold where I wouldn't need to have a speed boosting nature. Actually, I'd rather have some Fizz Def and then a little bit more special attack. Because I've only got the one attack, so I'm not too concerned about that. I mostly just want to be able to switch into Medicham as well as possible. Here I have my main Kartana check. Physically defensive, protect, HP fire, Escavalier. Ironhead and Knockoff, because Knockoff is really good utility, and Ironhead allows me to it allows me to get super effective damage on the Mamoswine, which is pretty helpful. And Knockoff is just really good, especially when dealing with Pokemon like Porygon 2. I don't actually have any toxic uses on this team, which is a shame, just couldn't fit it on, in all honesty. But it should still be pretty decent, I think. You just need to make sure not to get to wear down the Miltank and the Porygon 2, and the Taunt on Tornadus, preventing them from getting recovery is pretty useful here. I've got a Choice Scarf, Hydreigon, yeah. The Dark Pulse U-Turn, Draco, Radio Earth Power. I believe his only Dark Resists was the Alolan Muck. So Earth Power hits that super effectively, and Draco is just a pretty strong stab move in most matchups. And it's pretty decent speed control. I can run Modest because the only real Scarfer which I would be outspeeding, which I'm worried about, is the Mamoswine Chandelure. So this I've got speed for the Mamoswine and Chandelure, and just Modest, even Scarfed, even without a boosting item. The Hydreigon hits super powerfully hard. It just will go through his team, hopefully. And I've got a choice band Landorus. This is just to be able to nuke as much as possible. Earthquake, Explosion, U-turn, Stone Edge. Earthquake just barrels through his entire team. Stone Edge smashes Pelipper. Explosion will just kill something. Quite possibly the Wheezing, if that's how the game looks to be going. It should be able to just barrel through the entire team. Hopefully. And hopefully I'll be able to bluff it as a Scarf user and get off a surprising amount of damage in the early game, because when you've got base 145 attack, a choice band does a whole massive change. So yeah, hopefully we'll be all good. And that should be fine. Now I just need to wait on the Great Bats of Woodo. Scheduled for a few minutes from now, so I can just break down his team. So bullet type, So Mega Medicham, I feel like it will probably come, even though I've got the 3 different flying types, because I guess it can just kind of tech Ice Punch for that. But yeah, I don't know if I would be bringing it if I was him, even as much as I expect it to come. It has super effective stab against, I'd say probably about half my draft, or something. Giglets, Racking, Cobalion, Hydreigon, Stoutland, so that's 5 mons, which is a considerable amount of mons, but I don't know, I've got pretty decent pivots around it. He's going to be forced into picking between either his stab moves and Ice Punch. I'm not sure if he can necessarily even run Fake Out, or if he feels like he has to run Fire Punch for a Scavalier in this matchup. It is very strong, but a lot of Pokemon are faster than it as well, which you might find pretty scary, though it does technically wall Terrac in, which is why you don't see it on this team. So that might incense him to bring it. Kartana, definitely expecting Kartana. Not sure if he's going to run Scarf Banded or like a Swords Dance set. Technically he runs Swords Dance Z off of Psycho Cut. I wouldn't necessarily expect that. Swords Dance Life Orb set could be a bit scary, but just Escavalier checks it really well. With the HP Fire, it does like minimum of 100 and something %, which is pretty strong. Pretty decent check to it. If he runs like the Synthesis set, that could be a bit weird, but I don't know, he still wouldn't be able to do anything to Escavalier, so I'm not particularly afraid of that. Pelipper, I don't know if it's going to come or not. It's honestly, it's pretty weird. The only mon it technically has synergy with is the Kartana, because it can just get a rain for the Kartana, but I don't know that I expect Pelipper. Porygon 2 may very well come, but I've also got a lot of fighting types, so it's also very possible it won't come. Hopefully I can deal with it pretty well between Venusaur and Cobalion, as well as the Taunt on Tornadus. Metagross is definitely coming. If I'm lucky, I can just get into a position where does my Landorus set eat an Ice Shard? I have no idea. Hopefully it's not Scarf. even though I've run like counter scarf. I'm not looking forward to the 8. I just need to get the intimidate off right. Mammoth Swine is just broken. It's like, what is my check? It's just a Scavalier, but it's not really a Scavalier. Okay, that's a pretty decent check, but that is a lot of damage. Mammoth Swine is terrifying. I think it's terrifying for anyone in basically any matchup, in all honesty. Like, Draco doesn't kill it, but if it's Life Orb, then it'll be taking chip, and hopefully I'll be able to get rocks up with Cobalion pretty reliably. But, like, just look at how much Ice Shard is doing to the members of my team. Oh, that's not the invested version. I'm just gonna fix that. Let's just repaste the team. Yeah, pretty scary. Pretty scary, I won't lie. It's a very strong mon. And I mean, it's Mammoth Swine, right? Like, people know what Mammoth Swine does. It terrifies me. God of War, I'm not sure if it'll come. I've got a lot of fighting types, so it might come. Might have the Z move, I don't know. It's kind of up in the air about it. It is pretty strong, I guess, but okay, cool. He's ready. Yeah, it's pretty strong. Not entirely sure whether I'd be worried about it if it's not like a choice spec set. My Scarfers for Mammoth Swine Chandelure, my Scarfers still outspeeds it. So, but it's not weak to Dark Pulse, but it still takes a decent chunk. All Muck is pretty defensive. I don't know if Chandelure is coming. It's pretty offensively strong, but it's also walled by Hydreigon, so that might make him hesitant. I think it might learn Fairy Move, but I don't know if it does. But even then, he'd have to click that when I've also got a few other Pokemon that I can switch around it. Mostly the Tornadus and Landorus, but to some extent the Escavalier as well. Weezing, it's pretty defensively scary. I've got a lot of fighting types, so I'm pretty sure it'll be coming. Miltank, not sure if it'll come. I've got a lot of fighting types. And then Minior, I don't think Minior can just like win versus me. That's what I've got Cobalion for. It should be able to chew a +2 Earthquake or +2 Acrobatics, and just dent it with Iron Head. And it doesn't really set up for free against much on my team. Except for a Landorus locked into Earthquake, so I just need to keep that in mind. So yeah, it's pretty decent. Alright, sending the challenge to him now. So yeah, I think I am pretty confident going into this. Last season in playoffs I won pretty handily. Okay, no Minior, which is good. No Metagross, which is crazy. He does have the Alolan Muck. He does have the Mammoth Swine. He's got 2 of the ground immunities. He does have the Porygon of all things. Mammoth Swine's semi-stealth rock setter, though he might have toxic spikes on the Weezing, though they only affect Virizion. Hydreigon is pretty decent, but the combination of priority between Medicham, Fake Out, and Mamoswine Ice Shard can be pretty terrifying if he is Adamant Life Orb or Adamant Choice Band on the Mamoswine. But he did bring his only Dark Resist. But I feel like I can pivot around that pretty well with Landorus. I expect him to lead Medicham, I think, so I'm going to lead Tornadus. Because if he doesn't lead Medicham, then I think I'm fine anyway. There's no Kartana, so I don't need Hidden Power Fire. I could have had a Toxic for the Porygon 2 on my Escavalier. I think Tornadus is my lead just because I should be able to chew hits from most of his team and be able to pivot around pretty freely. Okay, so he led Porygon 2. I'm just going to knock off. He might be an offensive set, which could be pretty scary, but he's got +1 attack rather than +1 special defense, because my investment into defense was specifically less than, like, the reason I put in the special attack I did was so that he would get an attack boost, not a special attack boost. Okay, he went for Trick Room. I'm gonna get a slow U-turn off here. Okay, well that was a lot of damage. Let me just calc that. Oh, right. Porygon 2. Does that just mean that he's, like, modest? Which doesn't mean he's modest. It could just have been a max roll from not modest, but I would imagine it's more like that. Verizine probably takes far too much. I'm just gonna go get a free protect off here with my Escavalier. No. I should Iron Head. Iron Head is pretty strong in this situation because it's a neutral hit against everything that except for the Pelipper. I think I can protect here pretty freely. So he's going for Hurricane. I can go into Cobalion, but if he goes for Scald, that's pretty risky. Pelipper. That's right, he could literally be Choice Specs. I didn't even think about that. I think I have to go for Knockoff with Escavalier. Well, I get a free knockoff against his team, whether that winds up being Chip on Porygon 2, whether that winds up getting a knockoff on one of his Mons. I'm not sure if any of his Pokemon here would be running the Psyche MZ, given that Porygon 2 wasn't. Medicham can't. I will take that critical hit and your Life Orb for free. And I think I'll Iron Head here. I'm not sure what he's expecting with Ice Shard. Does that mean that he didn't have Icicle Crash? Very possibly. I guess he could have had, I guess he could have had Stone Edge on the set. Please flinch. Okay, well, I'm pretty sure I still kill this. Okay, well, this is a pretty scary Mon, but I'm just going to continue to try and stall out turns of the Trick Room using my Protect. Escavalier's putting in a lot more work than I expected it to do this matchup. Okay, again, that literally only affects one Pokemon on my entire team. Okay, knocked off the Mox Black Sludge. It literally can't be as slow as I am, so I'm just going to go for Iron Head, try and get some chip off. Okay, well, there goes my important thing of leftovers. But either way, I've dented his team a lot. I haven't managed to get the knockoff that I want to onto the Pelipper, but honestly, I'll take it. I'm not sure why he went for Shadow Sneak there. I'm not sure why he went for Toxic Spikes. Okay, Fire Punch. Fire Punch comes out. I can go Tornadus and just Roar Hurricane enough. Probably. Yeah. I'll go Tornadus and Roar Hurricane because I want to keep the Z if I can. Actually, I didn't count the damage versus the Pelipper. Given that he's leftovers, he may be a very defensive Z. That seems pretty consistent with the damage that Ironhead did. 15, so he's even more physically bulky than this set. He is just max physically bulky Pelipper. Or pretty close to it. Wheezing, I would also imagine, is very physically defensive. 47 to 56 might just mean that he has literally no special defense. So he did 62, so that might have been a max roll against just no defense. I'm gonna go for another Hurricane and miss. Gonna go for another Hurricane and hopefully this time not miss. That's bad. That is bad. That is not good. And I'm pretty sure that he's just max defense. I should have gone for the Z move. The second time at least. At least the second time. Now if I just go Landers... just go Landers and boom. Okay, he has Fire Punch. If he has HJK and Zen, he may just not have anything. He may have Ice Punch. He probably doesn't have... He didn't go for Fake Out, so it does lead me to suspect that he just doesn't have Fake Out. It probably takes a ton from Hydreigon, right? Yeah, Hydreigon and... Okay, he's cost me turns. He has cost me turns with my Virizion because of the Toxic Spikes. I'm not sure it's going to wind up mattering all too much. I go Cobalion here. Yeah, I ate the high jump kick because of my thing. Thunder Wave. Oh, I don't have Volt Switch on this set. I didn't even realize. Okay. And now he's just dead. There's no longer a Metacham here. Banded Landorus should probably be able to kill the Metacham. It's got a choice band for a reason, right? Yeah. I might even explode. No. Not if he just throws it away like that. Go hard Hydreigon. And just try to apply as much defensive as possible. No idea why he did that. Unless he was concerned about missing Hydro Pump in rain. I guess if he's an offensive Hydro Pump set, that does make some... Okay, misclick, that makes sense as well. Just the defensive set without the Spadef. Because that's what... The calcs have shown us that he's very physically defensive. That's unfortunate. I just need to break through this confusion. Confusion's so unfortunate in this situation. Especially because he's as physically defensive as he is. Or I could just die. I guess that's a possibility. Well, I guess I just need to Stone Edge, and... No, I just need to Explode. sweep. I'm not getting like Thomas did in week 1, man. Yeah, it was a really close game. Verizian literally did not come out. I don't know what it has been with me not bringing out my win cons at all during the entire game. Those misses with Tornadus just completely sucked. I should have just gone for the Z and not gone for the Hurricanes, because it put me in a much worse position than I needed to be. I lost my main check to Metacham. But ultimately, it was a pretty close game, pretty good game, and my team wound up coming through, even if I did wind up having to explode with Landorus at the last moment, just to make sure Falafel couldn't sweep. But yeah, it was pretty good, and I hope you guys all enjoyed. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next week, where hopefully we will continue just winning games.